All right, just taking a second here to go over something. I have a 50 horse, about a 2050 horse ELPTO 50, and recently I had difficulty having it idle. It wouldn't want to idle right. It ran kind of okay at higher speeds, but not really the performance that it should have had. So last year I had replaced the fuel line and the bulb. I actually went with a Mercury bulb, and then I just bought a high pressure fuel injection line rather than going with the line that is usually available for these setups. So I decided to use the right clamps and make them myself and use the fuel line. But so this year I took it out a few times to do some fishing, and I found that it was running on two of these cylinders but not the bottom one. And so not knowing that there was any fuel issues, I just swapped the coil paks here and found out that it still didn't run on this one. So I figured that was the easiest one to try to narrow it down. However, yeah, the bottom one was not running, so was ice cold, and the other ones were nice and warm. So what I decided to do is I figured, well, maybe there's a fuel issue still. When I had replaced this line last year, I found a few pieces of plastic, and I figured I maybe caught it in time, but maybe not, huh? Well, so I took all the carburetors apart, took them all off, took them apart, and I found little bits and pieces of plastic in there. They were the inside liner, I guess, of that gray hose fuel line. And I thought maybe by fall draining these, I would purge most of that out there, but that was not the case. The fuel pump was loaded with these little bits and pieces of plastic. So I took that off, I rebuilt that, put a new inline fuel filter in there. The old one was caked. In fact, it was so full that I'm surprised it ran at all. So took all the carburetors, rebuilt them all, got all genuine Quicksilver rebuild kits, just seal kits. I don't think I spent less than $100 for all of the gaskets and kits for that, as well as the fuel filter. So also, if you have this engine and you're having these similar problems and you have that gray line on your boat, the best thing you could possibly do is just do what I did and replace that line now before it creates any problems. One other thing to note is all the zip ties on this engine. I have them off now. I'm actually waiting for a bag of these to arrive here. But all of them are radiused. If you take a good look at it, the inside radius, the inside area of the zip tie actually has a bit of a radius to it. So make sure you get the right ones. If you use regular zip ties, they're just going to be flat. Okay, they're going to be you're going to not make a good contact area around that hose. So just make sure you do that. But I just thought I'd give you a little glimpse of what can happen. The best thing, and don't be scared, these things, all the carburetors come off really easy. They're straightforward. They really are quite straightforward. So it's just a matter of taking them off one at a time. You know, it's probably easier to start with the top one and then work your way down and then replace them, reversely. So, because there's a good chance to just do it right and replace all the carb, gaskets, clean them out really good, replace the line, replace the filter, and rebuild the pump. This pump didn't take me more than probably 20 minutes to clean and rebuild. So save yourself a lot of hassle out on the water and just do it right. Okay, just thought I'd take a second again to give you a little recap on that. But if you have one of these, make sure to consider doing just as I did here to save you some hassles. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.